Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and today we're going to do another video on Dragon Ball Super Fusion World. We're going to start diving into deck lists as well. We've done archetype breakdowns, we've done best of colors, and we're going to start diving into those deeper strategies because the set is coming out. For most people, in a week, a lot of people already have their cards. But with that being said, we're going to jump into the cooler build because I feel like a lot of people don't quite know how this deck works or is put together, the flow of it. And so we're going to have a lot of fun here. Just to let you know, we're going to set this video at a 100 like goal, and let's hope to get this video trending, and then be open for much more. Past that, if you want to help the channel and the brand, all you would have to do is go to the link in the description for a Dragon Ball video game video, give it a like, maybe let it run muted in the background so it gets the watch hours, and I'm trying to get monetized on the second channel. So with that being said, let's hop into this list, and I hope you guys enjoy. So, here is the entire list for this current deck. I have the ratios right here. This is essentially just my skeleton. A lot of this will probably stay the same if you want to build this deck, but there are spaces to tweak as this is a constructed card game where a lot of opinions and testing and the format itself matters. So the first thing we're going to do is go over Cooler himself. He is a critical leader, meaning that when he swings, he will not draw, but he's going to get an extra 5k power, and he's also going to have critical when you do swing with him. So yeah, 5k power on your turn, critical, so when you hit your opponent, they will not gain the life, and when he's at 4 or less life, you flip this card over. Next, going over to his other form, this is the beautiful altar, by the way. When attacking, draw 1 card. Activate main/battle once per turn, discard 1 card from your hand, choose up to 1 of your battle cards the cost of 4 or less in Frieza clan in its special traits, or 1 of your energy, and switch it to active mode. So the cool thing about this is being able to do that and being activate main or battle, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. Like for instance, you can play a 4-cost boss, which we're going to get to later, swing with it once, discard a card, untap it, swing with it again. That makes the cool kind of double attack function that we fear cards like Broly, 8-drop Broly from the start of the deck, so much for doing. Next, you have the ability to untap energy, which sometimes can just extend a play, allowing you to play a second body as well. There are so many good things about this effect, but it is nothing without the cards in the deck to put it together, so we're going to go through that next. The next card on the list is Sorb. He's just a 1-cost draw 1 from the starter deck. Easy. The whole point though is he's going to be able to draw a card, potentially be combo power, and on top of that, for a future card, he's going to allow himself to be set up for the effect, and we'll get to that soon enough. The next card we have here is 3 Frieza. Like I said, a lot of these ratios can be played with for most of these cards, but this Frieza, when he comes down on play, he's just going to choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. This can potentially open up something to being attacked that they didn't want to be attacked, and it leaves 10k on board as long as he is not destroyed. So in general, very, very good. Got to keep the 10ks up to a sizable number, and this guy has a great come into play effect. Now, this next card is going to be one of the bread and butter pieces of the deck, pretty much your best turn 2 play unless you already have Rayum in hand, but this is a 2-drop Ginu, and on play you're going to look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 non-Ginu card with Ginu Force and its special traits, and add it to your hand, and place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So as you can see from this list, this guy can search 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this guy searches out 14 cards out of your deck, and realistically he's just trying to make sure that you can replenish your cards. This is actually just very, very nice. So yeah, he's going to come down, he's 20k, so he swings over a non-awakened leader and he goes neutral with an awakened leader. Now moving past that, you've got 4 Birder. He is just a vanilla, he's a 10k combo power card, and he can be cheated out with another card that happens. Next, you have got Goldo. Now Goldo is kind of low-key MVP. Yes, for 2 he's a little bit more expensive, but the same effect that most people like for the Frieza SR, Goldo also does by tapping himself. You tap him, he's going to turn he's going to change or have something in rest mode, not be able to untap next turn. So that's actually pretty cool. It is actually a very, very good effect, and he's a 10k combo power, so essentially he has a lot of utility. Keep something pinned that you don't want to be beating on you next turn. Pretty much good. Goated with the sauce. Next, you've got the Ginu SR, and this guy is another 2-drop that says on play, if you have 3 or more battle cards with Frieza's army in their special traits, switch up to 2 of your energy active mode, and you can't play Ginu for the turn. So the cool thing about this is that this Ginu, he says you can't play a Ginu from the turn past then. So if you play any Ginus before then, like the 2-drop Searcher, you're going to be able to continue your plays. Like play the 2-drop Searcher, look at your top 5. Oh, you found a Raccoon and you have this in hand. Cool. Tap 3, play Raccoon. Raccoon plays Ginu. You now have Ginu, Raccoon, Ginu. They all have Frieza Force in their names, and so you're going to be able to untap 2 energy, potentially playing another body like a birder or something. So you really do get the combo plays in this deck, and you can really start raining 20Ks on your opponent. Now, the next card is Zarbon, because there do need to be Self-Awakeners. Zarbon is a blocker. He's 20K, so he's going to avoid most of the preliminary minus effects by red. And even if he gets destroyed, he gets destroyed. I mean, that's just pretty much it. But he's a 2-cost, easy Self-Awakening, and that's needed for when you need to switch gears and to be able to have these dual attacks, these pseudo-dual attacks. Next, you've got Rayum, arguably one of the most important cards of the deck. He's a Self-Awakener, and he can cheat out a 2-cost or less Ginu Force. And if you look up here, that's a Ginu, that's a Birder, that's a Goldo, that's a Ginu SR. He literally allows you to play pretty much any of the Ginu Force that you pack in this deck, and he's also 20K, so you turn essentially what is a 20K crit on your leader and a 20K Rayum and then a 20K guy, unless you play Goldo to use his effect to tap down something. It is very nice overall. Now, once you're done just raining blows on somebody, like swinging for 20K, 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 you start moving into the big guns. Next, you have Frieza. This is the SR from set 1, and what Frieza is going to do is it's going to basically come down at a 4-cost 40K, and you could swing with it for 40K, which is a whole lot of pressure, and then you get to discard a card from your hand with Cooler's effect, untap this guy, swing again for that much. And that's going to be a lot of pressure. 40K is no joke, and it is very, very, very easy to just lose a lot of cards in your hand to stop multiple 40Ks. So realistically, being able to swing with this 2 times the turn he comes down, and then another time every time you get to your turn by discarding a card to untap him, very, very, very good. Sometimes you can even just leave him tapped if you have another one in hand, you're willing to go with that, because that's still a double swing, you know? Tap 4, play him, swing, untap him, swing again. Very, very, very cool. Now, the cool part is that because this cooler is activate main or activate battle once per turn, what you can do is discard a card on your opponent's turn to untap something. So the turn you play this Frieza, you swing for 40K, then you discard a card and you swing 40K again. But when your opponent goes for their first attack, you can also just discard a card to untap Frieza, so that on your turn you can once again swing with Frieza and then discard a card to swing with Frieza. Yes, you are losing a lot of cards in hand, but at the same time, you just lost what? You lost 3 cards in hand total? 1 to play Frieza, 1 to untap him, 1 to untap him again. But this is a 40K, so he's pushing weight in his own. You don't need to combo on top of him. Very, very good. And then we are looking at the next boss card in this deck, which is the cooler boss card. Blocker. After an opponent's attack, you may switch this card to rest mode. Yeah, so that's a cool thing. You can just basically block with it. When attacking or when blocking, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. Then if that card is a cost of 2 or less, KO it. You can switch anything to rest mode, but if it's 2 or less, you're going to blow it up. So it gets rid of nice little blockers, little weenies, extra combo power on board, but you can also tap something down and then play something like Goldo in order to just keep it down for the turn. So you've got a lot of synergy there. These cards are going to be the cards that keep attacking multiple times. It's better to use the leader effect on the shenanigans, because if you're going, or on the Frieza, because if you're going to discard a card from hand, you might as well swing with a card that doesn't need any comboing. Next, we actually have the Chilai Super Combo. No real extra synergy in this deck because we're not playing cards like a pool, but that could be an option if your deck so chose. Next, you have Death Ball. Death Ball just says activate battle, choose your leader or up to 1 of your battle cards and it gains plus 15k power for battle. Then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and with a cost of 3 or less and switch it to rest mode. So yeah, you get to go up 15, you get to turn something to the side. This can get, this can get rid of combo power. If your opponent opts to fight you in the combo stage while they have a blocker up, this can be disastrous because then you just go up 15k, forcing them to come out of their hand, and then you tap their blocker so that your next attack is going through. Very, very, very nice. We're gonna move over to the next one. You have got Supernova. Activate battle only during your turn. Choose your leader up to one of your battle cards, gains plus 20k, and then choose one of your opponent's rest mode cards, battle cards with 4 or less, or cost of 4 or less, and it can't switch to active mode during your opponent's turn. This is going to be a great way to keep things off of you. This is going to be a great way to just make sure that they can't maybe untap a blocker or something like that during their turn they may be swung with. The cool thing about this card is a lot of these cards are worded so they say your opponent, it cannot switch to active mode during your opponent's next turn. That doesn't mean it just can't switch during the attack. This means if you're running a Frieza leader, you can't untap it during the end phase because it's still that turn. You can't use any effects like this cooler effect to untap it if it's stuck like this. So this is a very, very, very powerful effect, not only potentially protecting you from a later swing, but also like going up 20k for one. Very, very good. And then to round off, we have Body Change. Body Change is to activate main/battle. Choose one of your active mode battle cards, switch it to rest mode. Choose up to one of your battle cards that cost a 4 or less and switch it to active mode. So basically, you can switch a weenie like a Sorb, a Frieza, a Goldo, anything you don't need to switch something like a Frieza or a cooler to active mode and then punch with it. This is going to allow you to get some extra mileage and potentially have some really, really, really back-breaking turns later in the game when you just really want to push this 40k through as many times as possible. So with that being said, you are realistically just being a very, very, very aggressive deck with this. Your turn 1, you could play Sorbet if you have it or pass. Your turn 2, you are really looking to play Ginyu and then keep it going, or Birder. Any 2-drop will really do. Ginyu or Birder would be fine. Then on your turn 3, what you're hoping to do is Rayum into SR Ginyu. Those are the best choices. Sometimes Birder. If there's something you want to keep down, of course Goldo. And then on turn 4, you would hope to be Awakened. After playing, like, you get swung on twice, you maybe have Zarbon or another Rayum come down, and then you flip over. And that's when you can start getting really, really funny. You start swinging with all these guys, and the moment you can play a 4-drop, you just place that 4-drop and let it bang. Swing with it, discard a card, untap it, swing with it. During your opponent's turn, untap it, swing with it again, and your next turn, and then discard. And you can just hit somebody. Between turn 4 and 5, if you see the SR Frieza, you should be hitting somebody like essentially 4 times the 40k in a 2-round turn span. So that's actually really nice. That essentially kind of makes it like a smaller Broly. So this deck is very, very, very aggressive. If you have the chance, sleeve it up, get on untap, get on the digital plan when it comes out. Just try it. Just try it. You would be surprised at how aggressive this strategy is. And I do think that when it comes to a format like Green, where Green needs to get to the late game, decks like these are going to become a lot more popular because of how they're able to rush these decks. So with that being said, I hope you guys liked this video. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I am going to keep on going with all of these Dragon Ball Super Fusion World content videos, and I will see you guys the very next time you decide to join. So we're gonna go to the Patreon spotlight, and like I said, soon we'll be giving away these on the Patreon. Not much, but we'll do a better giveaway later, and I will see you guys a little later. Peace. Alrighty then, we are back at that moment where we thank everybody who's a part of the Patreon for doing what you do. I know it's been kind of a dry season for me, and I apologize for that. There's just been so much stuff starting from Card Fest forward, but we're about to crack that case open for Fusion World. We're eventually going to get that case for set 6 of One Piece. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to be giving all sorts of new articles. Be ready, because we're about to dive into the OPO6 as well as Fusion World articles very, very soon. I'm about to take some time off from my part-time just to really dive into content creation and actually see if it's time to go full-time again. So with that being said, I want to give a full shout out to the realm of extras, the people that give the extra oomph, the BRRs, the Brycars, and the Big Daddy Flapjacks. Thank you guys for being at the top of the Patreon tiers, and I will see you guys all in the next article and or video later.